Hey everybody, how the heck are ya? Welcome back to our 12-part nation builder series based on the Zodiac. I started with Aries, and I decided to use Aries as a Twitch Let's Play live streaming series, and it's been a whole lot of fun, but I realized that when I downloaded the Emperor patch, a lot of things changed about being the Emperor. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to Europa here. So I had decided to become the Emperor, became the Emperor, and then realized there were certain things about it that weren't the same as they used to be. So I got a little further into being Aries and sort of trying to compensate for what Aries lacks in diplomacy, and not realizing I was also playing as this area of Austria, and not realizing that actually a lot of the things had changed about being Emperor, and it's just not as great being Emperor as it used to be. It's not as easy just to pass reforms and stuff. So I think I'll probably switch gears and do something different as Aries. I think we'll be able to have a more Ares-inspired, warlike conquest sort of campaign for the rest of the series, so that's going to be fine. Now, I'm going to switch over and do the second nation. Obviously, you can tell from, you clicked on the thing, so you know which one it is. It's going to be Libra. This is going to be one of the more difficult playthroughs. The reason why is because all of Libra's buffs are going to be towards stability. It's the scales, so it makes a lot of sense. So a lot of their overpowered buffs are going to be about like autonomy, culture, and stability, separatism, that sort of thing. And so there's, that's great for lots of different areas that you can play in. Unfortunately, with astral cartography, Libra starts right here. We'll go ahead and hit custom nation. We'll start right there in Hawaii, Honolulu, actually. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. When you're talking about stability, look at how symmetrical and stable this entire area kind of is. It's surrounded by the Ring of Fire. It's right in the middle of the Ring of Fire. But everything around it is just so symmetrical, and it just kind of makes sense. That's awesome from an astrocartography kind of standpoint, and if you're a Libra, that's actually like a super cool geographical sort of relation you can have. We're also going to take the Midway Islands. Unfortunately, what that means for the game is this is going to be kind of a rough area to play in. We are far away from pretty much everything else. And also, I can't even click on this. This is too far away from my home province. So that's going to be kind of a super, super big issue that we're going to have here. We're going to have to play super tall, and we're going to have to super develop. And we don't really have many buffs to development, so that's going to be kind of an issue. Money is going to be an issue. I know that there's a new trade node that's basically the islands, but I don't think it's a super powerful trade node, so that's going to be kind of an issue. There aren't many trade nodes that feed into it, so we're going to have issues with money. We're not going to have much of an army to begin with. We're just going to want to play tall. We don't really have anyone to threaten us. What we do have, on the other hand, is because we have all these stability modifiers, we can declare no CB wars. Things that affect our stability, we can declare wars on people that we have truces with. We can declare war on whoever we want, whenever we want. So that's going to be a positive. Unfortunately, because money will be an issue, the Navy will be an issue, the sort of all of that stuff, we're just going to neglect at first. We're going to develop up, and we're going to want to colonize. We're going to colonize probably in any direction we can. I think we'll have to colonize in this direction. but we're going to want to try and get as much as far away as we can. I actually don't know how this is going to go. We're just going to do our best, the best that we can as Libra. The other city, besides Honolulu, so when I started this campaign, I was like, I'm going to pick 2 cities for each sort of signs, conquest lane. And the only other city that I had on here was Nome, and Nome is actually like not even on this map. So we're just going to go ahead and say, these provinces over here in Alaska. So we're going to try and make sure to colonize that. That's super important. And we'll try and conquest these islands down here, French Polynesia, all of that. We'll do our best. But for now, we'll just go ahead and we'll call this good. And as far as a map color goes, I feel like our flag is sort of like in the worm colors. So I feel like orange would be appropriate. And then as far as our flag actually goes, and we're just going to call this the nation of Libra. Linra. Libra. And we're going to say the adjective is Librian. Linrian. Librian. Okay, so for an emblem, we want something that exudes balance. That exudes balance. That exudes balance. 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 I don't know if scales are going to be on here. I think the closest we're going to get is that sort of Tangri symbol. I mean, yeah. I feel like if we see scales, we'll do scales. I think maybe this might be as good as we get. Background, we will try and make it as close to the flag that I have on the thumb. So we're going to want to make this red. Maybe make this a little bit more of an orange. Okay. And if we can make this yellow, like that gold. We might not be able to do that and have it look right. So maybe like that. I feel like that's kind of appropriate. That might be as good as we get. We'll pass on this. We are Polynesian. We're animist. I might actually switch to... I might do Shinto. We'll go ahead and keep everything else. We're going to switch to Shinto, and that has a lot to do with our government. I think we're going to do... Council, monarchy, daimyo. I have to have a tech group and a culture group and a capital in Japan to do that. So We might just do that. That's fine. The monarchy as is. So now we're going to switch over to our ideas. You can probably guess a lot of these ideas, actually. They're going to be very Diplo-focused. And they're going to be very stability-focused. So for our two... stability cost modifier is going to be our first tradition. We're going to try and make this as nice as possible. And the second is going to be institution spread. Because both of those are going to be super important for us. Then down here, we're going to... I think this is Diplo. It might not be. This might be a very admin heavy, now that I think about it. Religious unity. We're going to have up. Next. See, I don't think this is going to be under here. Yeah, so let's see. I thought it was under yearly. I might be wrong, though. Corruption. Years of separatism. There we go. So we're going to do 10 years of separatism. For our next one, hopefully... I'm also not seeing it. Monthly autonomy change. There we go. Next, we're going to do... I think here's where we get to Diplo. We're going to do... Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe it's all admin. Totally fine. It's going to be tolerance of the true faith, which is going to be... Oh, you know what? I just realized I skipped over production efficiency. And production efficiency is not actually on here. So... let's maybe switch that to tolerance of heathens, which I'm pretty sure was going to be on here anyway, so that's not going to matter. Then we're going to do max promoted cultures. And finally... autonomy cooldown. For later, we can switch autonomies. And our ambition is going to be... Liberty desire based on subjects development. So right now we are at 725. That's because we didn't take tons of territory, and I sort of want to go over these ideas real fast. So stability cost modifier, super going to be good for us. That's going to help us a lot when we do no CB wars and when we attack people that we have truces with. That 20% is really going to help us out. Institution spread, we're going to need it, but we're going to have to develop up anyway. So we'll probably be developing institutions, and then hopefully, they spread to our provinces much quicker, and our provinces are going to be super spread out, so that's part of that. Religious unity, we're not going to play a very religious game, so I'm hoping that sort of just balances that out a little bit. Years of separatism, we're going to not have much of a navy, and we can't really afford separatists on or scattered territories, so that's going to be kind of what I'm hoping to get there. Tolerance of heathens, we're going to conquer land and colonize land that isn't going to be Shinto, so I want a whole lot of less unrest on those areas. Monthly autonomy change, obviously we're going to try and, because we're going to have some issues with money, we're going to try and keep autonomy down as much as possible, and so having it naturally cool down is going to be amazing for us. That's also going to do the autonomy change cooldown. I think that's also going to help us out later on when we can manually change autonomy and try and get it down even quicker. Tolerance of the true faith is just going to help us out with unrest. So is max promoted cultures. We're going to do the best we can because we're going to be spread out all over the place. And then liberty desire from subjects. My original plan was to try and become like a daimyo or something like that. And then try to get as many subjects as possible to sort of vassal swarm for us. I don't know if that's what we're going to do, but we will end up taking some subjects. So I think that either way, it's going to be pretty good. We're going to start as a matriarchy. And because women are more balanced. And we are going to be calm. And we are going to be just. And then we are going to just go ahead and pop up our people as much as we can. We have secretive for our next person, so that's totally fine. We're going to stay young. But we do want just. So we'll 25 is probably appropriate. 783 is, I think, as best as we can get. Keep in mind that these might not all be the most... they don't all jive with what you would want a nation to all have. They sort of are supposed to be OP jive with what Libra is. Just that, Libra specifically. So all of these, together seem a little bit, overly redundant because they have a lot to do with, unrest, and stability. But honestly, that has a lot to do with Libra, is pushing down the unrest and keeping stable. That's sort of what the scales are about. Stability even has scales in the little icon. So it sort of makes a lot of sense from a nation-building perspective. We don't really have anything that's going to compensate where we're going to have deficits. So we're going to say done with this. And we're also going to hit play. We're going to have issues with money, so I'm hoping to get over into Mexico to get that gold. We are also going to have issues with keeping a military because of that. So right now we're already making a deficit of 0.2 ducats. That's going to be an issue. What do we have over here? 5 transports. Let's go ahead and mothball you. That's going to be an issue. And I don't actually think we need the military at all. I don't foresee that being a problem. And then, can we protect trade? That's going to be at a huge loss. So, what if we... select this fleet and get rid of you. And now, let's see if that protect trade. -16. So even protecting trade in this area doesn't help us. It only hurts us. So I'm just going to go ahead and mothball. That's going to be as best we can do. We have free diplomats, but we have nowhere to go. We know of no other nations. Do we have... we do. We do have feudalism. That's awesome, because not starting with feudalism is going to be a problem. So as soon as we aren't going to start developing until Renaissance pops. And until then, we're mostly going to just try and hoard as many points as we can, and then when we have as many as we can, we are going to throw that into development. Wake Island is actually part of this, which is over here, but we can't even colonize that just yet. So we're going to jump over there as soon as we possibly can, but as of right now, we got a whole lot of nothing. It's going to be an issue. Our merchants, we can collect here, but honestly, I don't think that's going to help us hardly at all. We are at the center of the trade node. We do have, obviously, trade over here. We do want to sort of improve this port as best we can. We will make it a world port eventually. We are also going to try and pull from these islands. We're going to try and dominate our trade node as best we can. There's just not much in the way of trade here. It's going to be a constant issue. Hopefully we are able to keep... we just have generic custom nation ideas. We can form Malay, and we can hoist the black flag. So we could become pirates if we want to. It just doesn't seem very Libra authentic. We can probably boost our stability, so we're going to do that. So we have the isolationism and the incidents that come with isolationism. Yeah, so we're going to sort of like have this whole modifier of Shintoism that I've never played with yet. So it'll be interesting for me. That gives us morale of armies, but again, we don't have an army right now, so it's not going to matter. We don't have any subjects. Our estates are relatively chill. That's great. Our military doesn't matter right now. We'll get explorers, but, it's not going to mean much. We'll see if this corrects. Let's go ahead and speed up the time a month. There we go. Okay, so we're making 143 a month. We're going to go supercharged this first little bit. We're definitely just going to blast through time and hopefully speed up considerably until we can get our first idea set, and then we will. Hopefully we can get our first couple techs and our first idea set prior to the Renaissance, because then we're going to dump all of our development into our provinces to develop the Renaissance. So, actually, let me see. Islands development costs 15%, so it's already like harder to develop these things anyway. But it's only 15%. We'll see what we can do. This might be a super boring playthrough, or it might be super quick. But we're gonna do the best we can. Point is we're gonna keep stable the whole way through. So we'll see. Libra's a Libra. It is what it is. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully, like and subscribe if you like what you see. And I will see you guys later. Bye.